Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those who are new, welcome. My name is Monica, and in today's video, I'm going to be answering Liezl's tag and talking about kids who stole the show in romance books. Okay, so I love this idea. Thank you, Liezl, for tagging me in this. This is great. I absolutely agree with you about Beefcake in Loving Romeo. Loving Romeo, Beefcake and Loving Romeo, and in The River Wild. The River Wild, he stole the show in The River Wild. I cannot wait for the next book because of Beefcake, okay? Beefcake is perfection as a well-written child, and that's what a well-written child can do in a romance novel. So I'm not gonna rehash Loving Romeo and River Wild because Liezl, and I'll link her video down below, has talked about it. Let's just get into a couple of the kids that really stole my heart. And I also agree about Heartless, because Heartless, that was perfect. Luke and Heartless with Willow, perfect. But again, I'm not going to mention Heartless because you mentioned Heartless, Liezl. And I absolutely agree with that. That one is absolutely done well. And the first one I want to mention is Luke from Ashes of You. And the reason why I want to mention Luke from Ashes of You, and actually all of the boys from Ashes of You, to tell you the truth, but the reason why I'm saying Luke from Ashes of You is because he was such a dynamic character. He had such a big role to play because Lawson was the single dad, right? And we had Hallie who came in. Lawson found her 5 years ago after she had escaped a serial killer. And then 5 years later, she came back to become their nanny. And he didn't know when he opened the door that Hallie was the person he had saved 5 years earlier. The thing is that Hallie had such a unique perspective that she was able to bond with Luke and help him grow as a character, but also because he's a sullen teen, right? I loved the way Luke challenged Lawson and the way Luke was able to find things on his own and to be able to support and challenge Hallie as well, but he also to bring Hallie in as a part of the found family. Not only that, is that he ended up caring about her, and the way he did ultimately helped save her life. I just really loved that found family aspect. It was so well done. I loved the way they just thrived together and the way Hallie bonded with Luke over the little things and the way Luke let her in to the point where she was the reason why we found out why he was so angry. And it was just so well done. And he was a very well-written, very dynamic kid character, and I fell in love with him. I fell in love with the way they were written. He made Hallie and Lawson grow as a couple too, because they bonded over taking care of Luke. So the next one I want to talk about is In a Jam by Kate Canterbury. Now this one is long, right? And we all know this one is long. However, Jenny, she's my girl. I love Jenny. She's 6 or 8 years old. She is a pirate. She's a foul-mouthed pirate, but that is her defense mechanism. She is Noah's niece, and he's taking care of her because her mom is in prison. And that is not a spoiler. Man, she gives Noah and Shay a run for their money. But here's the thing, is that she bonds with Shay. Shay helps her with her schoolwork and actually takes the time to get to know Jenny, and it's not off-putting by her saying cuss words, right? And saying I'm a pirate, and acts out. She takes the time to get to know her. And I really loved Jenny as a character. She drove a lot of the story. You don't see this type of kid character written very much or very well, because there's a lot of trauma that is written in her. And the way Kate Canterbury wrote her was very authentic. And I really enjoyed the way Jenny and Shay bonded, and the way Noah and Jenny bonded. I enjoyed the way that they ended up becoming this family towards the end. And this one, while it's long, Jenny is the reason why this story works so well. She helped Shay heal from this trauma that happened to her at the beginning. She was able, and Shay and Noah helped her deal with the trauma that she was dealing with. So, I mean, I love that book, and I love Jenny. Jenny is a great child character written in a romance novel. Listen, I cannot not do a video about children in romance novels without talking about The Takeover by T.L. Swan. This is one of the very few T.L. Swan books that really truly work for me, and it is because of Harrison. Claire's boys. Listen, Harrison sitting there looking at Tristan going, tick-tock. That is by far the thing that has stayed with me through, and I read this years ago, okay, and I still remember that, and I still remember, and Fletcher giving him crap at the right when he was about to go in to meet Claire again after they hooked up at that conference, and every one of Claire's boys put Tristan through hell in their own way, but Harrison, man, he gave it the best. Like, that kid was awesome. The thing is that Tristan also showed up for those kids, and Tristan fell in love with those kids just as much as he fell in love with Claire. And to me, that was the best part of the story, was Claire's boys and the way Tristan bonded with those boys, because he was like, it was a rocky start. It was, I'm not gonna lie, it was a lot of fun reading all the crap that the boys gave to Tristan, but Tristan also gave it back to them, but also them protecting each other and going after each other. I mean, the fact that the boys went to Paris for Tristan was just so fantastic. I loved these boys. Like, Harry still has my heart to this day, and I read this back when it first came out, in 2020-ish, I think. It's been years since I've read this book, and I still remember him. TikTok. I still remember him. That's how good those boys were written. So, and then one that I read more recently is After the Storm by Laura Pavlov. This one is Presley and Cage, and it's a second chance romance, and Cage is a single dad to a very cute little ballerina girl named Gracie, who loves to dress up and is all glittery and stuff, but she also bonded very well with Presley and held her dad to task, saying, we need Presley. And I love that she knew her mind. She knew what she wanted. She knew who she loved. I love that she was the driving force to how they were able to get back together in the end. I loved how that is the reason why Presley and Cage were able to bond again. I mean, she had her own personality. She had her own traits. She had her own quirks and characteristics. She wasn't a cardboard cutout stand-in. She had a purpose, a function, and she had her own personality, and she was super cute, and she was very girly, unlike the Anderson boys in Takeover, who probably would have beat the crap out of somebody. She was like, I'm gonna go get Presley, and you're gonna come with me. And I love that. She had her reasoning, she had her functions, and she had her dad wrapped around her little finger. And same with everybody else in the cast of characters in the Cottonwood Cove series. So Laura Pavlov can write really good children. So the last book I want to talk about is Look the Part by Julianne. And this one is because I really like the son Harrison. Just another Harrison, right? Flint is the single dad, and he's very broken as a character. Ellen is our heroine, and she is, I think she's like a music therapist, I think, if I remember correctly. It's been a very long time since I've read this, but I do remember this one. Trigger warning for alcoholism and lost of a loved one, because this one is kind of heavy. So Harrison is like 13-ish, I think, if I remember correctly. So Harrison is autistic. He's higher functioning. I would say he's around maybe level 1, level 2-ish. Like I said, Flint is a lawyer, and he owns the building that Ellen's practice is out of. Flint is incredibly grumpy, and he does not like the fact that Ellen makes noise, because, I mean, they bang drums, they do stuff. This is music therapy, right? Well, Harrison is very interested in what she's doing, so he goes down to her office, and Harrison and Ellen start bonding over music. Flint does not like this, but Harrison does, and Harrison forces a lot of issues with his dad, okay? He forces his dad to face hard facts, hard truths, and he forces his dad and Ellen to communicate, and I loved it. This is a very well-written autistic character. I highly, highly recommend this book. This book is so well done. He really drove the story. He was unique. He had his own personality. And I love that Ellen and Harrison really bonded. And the way Julianne wrote the way things happen with autistic people, specifically when you are coming into puberty. And it was so interesting to read the way she wrote it, and I enjoyed it. You did a fantastic job writing Harrison. You could tell she did her research. She did it respectfully, and I would highly recommend that. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to put Harrison on here, because he was well written. The autistic representation in Harrison is spot on. He helped drive the story. I love the found family aspect between Flint, Ellen, and Harrison. I just love the romance. This is probably my favorite Julianne book of all time. And I don't really ever talk about it, but if I had to give you a book from Julianne, especially one where the kids stole the show, it would be Look the Part. Anyway, so those are some of my contributions to kids that definitely stole the show and my heart in romance novels. Let me know if you have any down below, and if you made it this far in this video, please leave me a cupcake emoji. And until next time, my friends, happy reading. Bye.